Hey guys, it's SimQueen, and today I'm renovating the BFF household in Willow Creek for my save file. So the very first thing I did was, I haven't really actually done a lot of renos on my channel. I've done some fixer-uppers, but you will be seeing some more renos now that I'm into my save file. So the first thing I did is get rid of a whole bunch of doors and windows. I hadn't decided on a theme going into this. I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted the house to look like. I didn't know where to start. It was a little bit messy for me, but I really love the way that it turned out, and I had a lot of fun with this, and I'm excited to do more renovations. So I got rid of all of the furniture. I know there's an easier way to do this, but I really wanted to kind of be up close and personal with the way that it used to be, and like personally delete all of those things. So I went with a bit of a different color scheme for the house. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I didn't add any walls or anything like that. I pretty much kept it all the same. Oh wait, actually no. One thing I did do, I added like a little laundry nook, like a very tiny little nook on the back deck there, just to make room for a washer and dryer. I'm trying to include washers and dryers in all of my builds, as well as thermostats, just to make it very realistic. So far, I'm not doing great. I've forgotten a lot, but I will be adding them at the end so that when you actually do download the house, it will have a thermostat and a washer and dryer, just to make things a little bit easier and more realistic. So trying to keep with the theme of this whole area for Willow Creek, there are 5 houses kind of in that starter area that are all going to have a bit of the like a New Orleans theme, is kind of how I've been describing it. So all 5 of those houses will have that theme, and then I think I'm doing one more after this. It's a build, not a renovation, across the street. And then we'll be moving on to some more bigger family houses, which I'm really excited for. So the 3 Sims that live in this house, I was calling them the Roomies household, but that's actually in Oasis Springs. This is called the BFF household. They're a bit of a mess. But first we're starting with Travis Scott's room, and no, I do not mean Kylie Jenner's baby daddy. So Travis, I'm just trying to find what all of his traits are, because I can't quite remember. Let me just check. Sims for Travis Scott. I know that he's a geek for sure. And then he has, oh man, I really should have been more prepared to rattle off all of his traits. Okay, so he is a young adult. He works in quality assurance as a tech guru, and he's outgoing, self-assured, and he's a geek as well, and he's got the computer whiz aspirations. So I loaded up his room with a whole bunch of techie stuff. He's got a big TV, 2 different game consoles. He's got the, I think it's called the Lindsay speaker, and a computer as well, like a pretty expensive one. I also gave him like a nicer gaming chair as well. His room is pretty small. I don't think it's the smallest though. I do think Summer's room is even smaller than his. I also put a drone on his side table just because I thought that was kind of interesting to give him some, like, I don't know, some techie sort of stuff. He's got like a bit of a living area in his bedroom. I thought he would use his room for gaming more than anything else. He probably doesn't entertain a lot. I put like a little backpack in there as well, and just some sort of, I don't know, geeky decorations like the gnome and that little robot thing on his desk, some books. That's pretty much it. And a few pictures on the walls as well. His room is pretty cluttered and it's a little bit messy too, but I think that it really works for him. I do like Travis Scott's character a lot as well. I think he's kind of interesting. I just like geeks. I find them fun. So he is roommates with Liberty Lee and Summer Holiday. There seems to be some like romantic stuff going on with these two, or with these 3. I'm not exactly sure what their relationships are, but it's a little bit weird. I can't remember who's with who, but I think it says in the description something about, I can't remember. Something about like jealousy between Summer and Liberty. I think Travis and Liberty have a bit of a relationship. I'm not exactly sure what that dynamic is, but we are on to Liberty's bedroom now. She is a young adult, and she is a module cleaner in the astronaut career, and her traits are geek, bookworm, and clumsy. So I loaded up her room with a whole bunch of books and bookshelves because she loves to read so much, and I didn't really put anything like techie like I did with Travis's room. I think that if she wanted to play video games or do any sort of geeky stuff like that, she could just go hang out with him. She does have a really big bedroom though, definitely the biggest out of the 3. So I use a lot of like whites and lighter colors for her. I will be giving them makeovers as well. I really don't like Liberty's look at all. So I will be giving them a makeover as well. Not just their house, so they will look a little bit different. Gave her a laptop and a bulletin board, and yeah, I just kind of put as much like books and bookshelves as I could fit into this little room. I also put, I think, a locker in her room, which is a bit of a weird thing, but I don't know. I thought maybe she could have brought it from school because she was so attached to it or something like that. So now we're going on to summer holiday. I gotta find her traits now. She for sure is athletic, I think. Yeah, we're moving on to her room now. It's the smallest, I think. I don't know, Travis's might be even smaller, but I cannot quite remember. So she is an athletic sim. She's also active is the trait. Cheerful and outgoing. She's got the friend of the world aspiration, and she is a head dishwasher in the culinary career. So I put some sort of active stuff in her room, like the treadmill and the punching bag. There's a soccer ball in there. Which you can actually use. The basketball, I think I put that in here as well, but it's just decorative. Yeah, so you can't actually use that. But the soccer ball, you can kick around. And then I put like a mirror in front of her treadmill as well, and some sporting equipment. And I'm looking forward to doing her makeover just because I don't think her character looks that athletic to me. And then the bathroom is pretty basic. I cluttered it up quite a bit because it is 3 young adults sharing a bathroom. So I imagine that would be a little bit messy. There's only 1 bathroom in this whole house. So I did put like the toothbrushes and like hair dryer and just a bunch of clutter on the counters. And I think that's pretty much it for the bathroom. It's fairly basic. And I think I forgot to put a laundry hamper in this house. Now that I'm thinking, I put in a decorative one right in front of the window, but I don't have an actual laundry hamper that they can use. So I do need to add that because I do have a washer and dryer. So as soon as you get a hamper, you can actually do laundry. The kitchen was hard for me because I couldn't decide between going for a light theme or a dark theme, but I looked at the windows and doors and they were dark. So I ended up going for a darker theme for the kitchen. It's maybe a little bit too dark. I don't know. I haven't really decided. I do like it. I just don't know if it completely suits the house, but it's what I went for, and I think it turned out pretty good. I like the layout of the kitchen. I did keep the bar there that they originally had just because I imagine they like to entertain and have friends over. So I kept that area reserved for a bar. And a whole bunch of bar stools as well. They do have a dining room table as well though. So they don't always have to sit at the bar to eat. I did put in like that little L-shaped wall just to sort of, I don't know, separate things a little bit just because I've been doing a lot of open concept houses and I've been trying to think of creative ways to break things up a little more. So I did put that little L-shaped wall, some lights above the bar, and I think that was pretty much it for the kitchen. Just added some other smaller items. This house was really fun. It took me a lot of time though, just because I'm fairly indecisive about these things, but I love the way it turned out. I think at the end I'll include some screenshots of like before and after, just because EA builds are just a hot mess. So when you put a screenshot of any EA before pictures, the afters always look really good. So that's kind of my plan. I did put a TV, sized up the small TV, and put a side table with a lamp, and the living room's pretty basic, not a lot of character to it, but I do like the way that it turned out. The dining area is a little bit cramped just because it's so close to those bar stools, but I don't know, I thought they would like to have as much seating as possible. Put in those curtains from Discovery University. I've been a little bit obsessed with them lately, and those 2 mirrors I think really bring the room together. I love the way they look there, and I think that's pretty much it for the living room. Just didn't want to leave walls bare or anything like that. I've been getting pretty bored with all of the art and the wall hangings that we have in the game, so I've been trying to use ones that I don't normally use, which has been difficult. Here's where I put in that little nook for the washer and dryer. I haven't player tested it yet, but I'm sure it functions just fine. I've done this sort of thing before where I just kind of set the washer and dryer in there. And then I ended up putting some curtains over top just to make it sort of like this private little area. And then I was trying to find a place for those shelves. I wanted to use them so badly, but I ended up deleting them just because they weren't really working with the build. I put in another basketball there, just trying to fill up this front foyer a little bit. And then also those boxes on top of that shelf are the ones that you can use to set up holiday decorations on the house. So those are available. I do need to remember to put those in a lot of builds as well, because a lot of households need them. A couple of hallway rugs, and I think I put some wall hangings in the hall as well, and moved some lights around. I wanted to have a light above the dining room table, just to sort of like, I don't know, bring it together a little bit. But that's pretty much it for the interior of the house. Looking at it now, I'm actually really happy with the way it turned out. The back deck here, I put a little yoga mat there for Summer, and I was placing the bike around. I thought Summer could also have a bike since she's super active. And then I ended up putting a little bit of like I don't know how to describe it, like a patio area below the deck with a hot tub on it, a fire pit as well. I thought the house originally had a fire pit, but I guess it didn't. Unless I deleted it a long time ago. But yeah, I did put a fire pit there. There's the hot tub there. I was trying to make it look sort of like a deck. I even tried to raise it up, but it was connecting with the other deck and it just wasn't really working. So I couldn't do that. Put in like a couple of chairs, and I think I put in like a coffee table there as well. I don't know how much time they would spend outside, but the yard is kind of, I don't know, built for entertainment, I guess you could say. It's not over the top, but it's good enough for sure. Just some outdoor lights. I think I put in like a patio table and chair so they could eat outside. And I think I just added a couple of trees. I did want to put a basketball court at the back in this corner, but it just wasn't working. It was just too small. I didn't want to put it in front of the window because that's a recipe for disaster. So it just wasn't working. I decided to get rid of it and put a tree there instead. I play around with trees a lot. I can never really decide what looks good, but I'm pretty happy with how this backyard area turned out. I think it's really cute. Put in some bushes. That's definitely what was missing from the build originally. It just didn't have any landscaping. So I did that, and then I think I went to the front and sides of the house and added some more landscaping as well. Since EA builders are really terrible, the bushes that they put in are super far away from the house. Like, you can see that gap? That is so brutal. Like, they could have used a build sheet, but they didn't. They just placed them like 2 feet away from the side of the house. So I did adjust those, added some more color with these other lighter pink bushes. And I think that's pretty much it. I added some terrain paint and maybe a bench and some flowers, and I think I put in another tree as well. But that is it for this renovation. If you guys enjoyed, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and don't forget you can download this house on the Origin on the gallery. My Origin ID is SimQueen 1992. Thanks so much for watching.